Okay, let's continue. Midfielder would like you to assist the Immortal Flames. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friends, Ungest, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungest attend as planned. As the Amaljar are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I will have you provided to them, Reina. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time he does, you will be the Science sole representative underground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Camp Drybone. Get to the chopper! Good evening, Wooken. Thank you for the host, like always. Okay, where is this person? Flame Sergeant. How's my day? My day's been good so far. Today's been good. Ah, you're Reina Exchel of the Science. Ah, thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The Listermen aren't aware that their man, Ungest, has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much more of the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds. Let's make sure it does. Alright, so be ready for the ambush. From the little picture, it looks like yes. That is what I saw. So the Invisible City. Okay. Alright, I'll wait by the Invisible City. Yeah, I haven't touched the PS4 in like probably a month, I would say. Just because there's no content for Monster Hunter at the moment. So, yeah, it's being neglected. Send it to Discord, the pic, if you can. Oh, okay then. Somewhere around here, right? Oh, here. Waiting. Lord of the Inferno. You always think that's follows. Okay. Proceed. Oh, you can't take on PS4. It's a baiting place. Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the ammo drop here. Yes, sir. Cool haircut. Whoa! What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the immortal flames' clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. go? Ah, for two. Whatever. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you. Bring her. The rest of you, march. Traitorous scum. Fear the Amaja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die as a soldier's death, with steel in hand. The bowl of embers now accessible. Ah, here it is. A bowl of embers. Description: owing to a betrayal, you have been captured by the Amalja and taken to their stronghold of Zanrak. They're to be given as an offering to the primal Ifrit. If you are to survive this fiery encounter with the Lord of the Inferno, you and your comrades must fight with no less than every ounce of your strength. Should you fall, your soul shall burn for eternity. 1 to 4 players, 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 DPS. Level 20, sync from 22. Alright. Yes, there we go. Like party. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it pleases you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame, and mark them as your own. The bloody hells! Bring those two as well. Ah! What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible, by what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed number. The paragons warn of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Got you. Keep it away from the party. GG Wukan. Thank you for the help. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. See, the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I expect from the flaying general's handpicked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. Well, let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Cap dry bone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the XIV Legion, or the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Libya. Promise me you'll never change. We wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. Full armor. With allies like that? Beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Ah, there you are. Come rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their gods' ignominious defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered, it ill suits me to dwell on negatives. Amidst all of our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice if it is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Reina. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? The fine eye for the Tane remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to the mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long. Will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Excuse me? That is cool. It's a cool fucking chocobo. Soon. Soon! I'll get that. Need to push on. And keep playing. So I get that. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Oh nice, what I get? Dawn Riscard. Level 18. Nice. A late arrival nearly cost Reyna her life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I'll fail her utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every. It's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished. I just had finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifest in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal, which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assure me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfield neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we will not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, He is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight. That no more innocent need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Yeah, that's rough. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis Watt, never have allowed this to happen. Have to do better. Have to be stronger. Also on this wristband. That's it, huh? I'm fearless wearing a wry smile, Muddy. Have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Erzia. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled around, aiding those you need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. You have guests, Reina, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardon. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Erzia. Each organization will have Ifrits obeying for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They will not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. Find myself wondering how word of Reina's deed spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Hee! We got the weasel. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Ixchel. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of a valiant woman such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aid us against the Amalja and their dead primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you as well. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It's only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia? Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation will help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the grand companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, and some of which may well prove yourself to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the grand companies best deserve your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. Thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leaders of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing this address ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Reyna hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet, know that great power is wont to attract attention. Not all of it is friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman in the midst of a grand company. However, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I will have you carry this link probe with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will appraise you as to where and when the remembrance service are due to take place. Alright, I'll be All right, I'm back. I mean, about to get yep, 3 grand companies. Almost time to get your chocobo. Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to finally just call the chocobo whenever. Okay, that was weird. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting. You're getting, Reina. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Sitzir Khan Esena will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rauban Aldin will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you can make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merwild Blois Flynn will be giving her address. The room is accessible via Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry Zanthael, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the Remembrance service suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Alright, so... right now he's playing Borderlands 3 at the moment. And I think right now he also does raid parties with a couple of other members of his link show, whatever it's called. So yeah, Sundays and Saturdays is like he's always busy doing the raids. So I need to go where? Go to Britannia. I'll go to Ul'dah instead. Oh, Philip will get lost. Put it over here. Over here. Nope. How are you doing, Space Oyster? Interesting. Okay, Melsu has the sexiest NPCs. Flames got the sexiest outfits, and the Twin Adder hugs the tree huggers. I'll keep that in mind. But I already kind of know who I'm going to be choosing. Yeah.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimal herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore! Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, Dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ja for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
If you'll permit me, Alfie No, and my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your looks of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of the several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Guardians have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, Ul'dah send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be most welcome addition to the ranks. For their sake, I hope the Flame General's words struck a chord with you. That's something between you two. I was barely learning all these characters, so. That's for you two to debate about. Alright. Yeah, I bet. Then I'll have to, guys, I just need to keep playing this game consistently. I asked Wooking how consistent I've been playing this game. It's been on and off, on and off. And sometimes I don't even stream at times. But hopefully that'll change this week. Hoping for the best. One thing for sure is I'm consistent being inconsistent. Sapphire. I'm supposed to be talking to. 4 white or 4 white. Nice name. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our Grand Company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now, the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Remove them!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass? I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
It's a bunch of Incredible Hulks here.
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsians' backyard. And that is to say not of eternal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you will be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Alright. This one right here, the closest to the marker.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelves Wood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelves Wood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable, so beleaguered from within and without. It is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on a
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity, we must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals!
Fancy meeting you again.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least, alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, yet they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet, how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursion, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable avenger prove to them then? Right now, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Just an aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it will not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Okay, it's all done. I was about to ask that Space Oyster if they were elves or they were the Lalafell, because they seem too short to be elves. I was about to ask you guys that. No, you answered it about the twins. I guess the twins being elves or Lalafell, but you answered it. They're elves. They're either young or half elf. It's tough to tell how old Japanese characters are. To the Waking Sands. Minfilia, here we go. Welcome back. Were the Grand Company leaders' words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while. Take a moment to reflect your decision. Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I need to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Alright, I get to choose. Well, no hiding it. I started in Ul'dah. I will stick with Ul'dah. Welcome back, adventurer. I take it General Robon's words kindled a fire within you. Turn your mortal flames. Excellent. I fear that the incident with the traitor may have soured your opinion of us. It gladdens me to see that isn't the case. But before we can count you as one of our own, you must be formally inducted into our ranks. The Mortal Flames Recruitment Officer seems eager to welcome you to the Uldah's Grand Company. Oh, nice. Rose ear cuffs, coral ring, have that. Yeah, nah. None of this. Probably just take the bronze pieces. Suit black dye. Please proceed to the Hall of Flames and identify yourself to the personnel officer. I will notify him of your coming. With your strength joined to ours, we shall surely prevail over our enemies, be they beastmen or Imperials. Oops. So there you go. Enjoying the flames. The Imperial flames, or whatever they're called. What brings you to the Hall of Flames this evening, adventurer? Name is Renix Tail. I believe you are expecting me. Ah, I thought as much. You're just as a man at the Waking Sands described. It is an honor to meet you, madam. Now, in order to formalize your... Sir! Speak, Private. Imperial, sir. They fire on a high-wind skyways airship. Scout says she's coming down to the west, near Horizon's edge. Bloody hells! Of all the times for this to happen. Reyna, there's no time for formalities. The Immortal Flames need your help now. We're in the midst of a large-scale operation against the Amalja, and we have no one to spare in western Thanalan. You must get to that ship before the Guardians do. If there are any survivors, see that they do not come to further harm. Now go. Horizon. Okay. Adventurer, what are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. The Immortal Flame sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Are you alright, sir? Our scouts reported the attack on your craft. We've come to rescue you. Rain XL, yes, glad to have you with us. I've not seen a craft of this design before. That trader Garlon has been busy. The secrets of Magitech are ours by right. They are not to be squandered upon the savages of this land. We are taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. I mean to take the ship back to Castrum Meridianum, along with your friend. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside that tiny Bronco. Nice looking ship, though not the best place to have taken shelter, I agree. It's the first airship we built since the Calamity, the first since Master Garland. Well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring. She really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. We attack on my command. Kill them quickly and save the Lalafell if possible. Is that clear? Show them what becomes of those who play with fire. Charge! We're under attack! To arms! What is that? Biggs! Wait, you shouldn't have stayed in with the ship. That was close, a close one. Too damn close. So how's she looking anyway? The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. The Imperials will come looking for their scouts, but we can't defend this position until the engineers leave. You should go. You still haven't finished business to attend at the Hall of Flames. You're not quite one of us yet, though anyone who's seen you in action today would be forgiven for thinking otherwise. I just wanted to say sorry, you know, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously though, if it hadn't been for you and the Immortal Flames lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge? Thank you. We're very grateful. Alright, continue. Welcome back. What are your deeds in the field reached me not long ago? Exemplary service. Rest assured that the Garland Ironworks engineers are fine. They were able to get their vessel back in the air before the Imperial reinforcements arrived. Your willingness to assist us on such short notice is to be commended. Clearly, your reputation is well deserved. Now then, I believe we have some unfinished business. Shall we continue from where we left off and induct you into the Immortal Flames? Take the bronze piece. Flame Seal, 1000 gil, 1000 experience points. Personnel officer stands ready to complete your induction to the ranks. Are you ready, Reina? Then let us begin. Reina shall you stand poised to enter a sacred trust. The flames of Ul'dah burn bright, casting light where there is dark and purging evil wherever it lurks. We are ever ready to meet the nation's enemies in battle, be they beastmen, Garleans, or worse. And at a word from Flame General Rabban Aldine, we will gladly lay down our lives to maintain the peace and prosperity of Ul'dah. To join our ranks, you must forsake all other nations. Only then may you commit yourself to the fire and be reborn as an immortal flame. Burn as one of us, and together we shall chase the darkness from Ul'dah. Will you swear an oath to mark this occasion? Sword belongs to Ul'dah. Spoken like a soldier, you'll do well here. Very well, you resolve is plain. Right next, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Flame Private 3rd Class. Welcome to the Immortal Flames, Private. And you fight to the last for coin and country. Can you hear me? This is Minfilia. An officer of the Immortal Flames contacted me with the news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private XIV. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I will ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a Flame of Fulda, you are no less a Scion. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. Delivery missions unlocked. Where's the chocobo? I want that behemoth mount. Dang it. Welcome back, Reina. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Nice. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us. Now, when last we spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm Gods, man, spit it out, will you? Wage, at your service. I'm pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we need the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garlon Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you, all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. Phil needs you to investigate the sylphs.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like Gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Quest accepted. Don't worry about it, Space Oyster. I can go unlock the Choco one out. Nice! Nice, nice, nice. Eden and Pulp are your favorites? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm being distracted. Wookin does that all the time. He'll be playing, but he'll have the stream on the side, so. That is cool. It's cool looking. First, all right. How do I unlock this chocobo thing? How do I unlock my own personal chocobo? The quest, you need to purchase a chocobo issuance from Grand Company Quartermaster for 200 company seals. That seems like I have to go back to over here. Flame chocobo insurance. Right here. My little chocobo. speak to Minigun. To the chocobo keep? Yep, sorry. I'm gonna try to my interest in the chocobo porter. Oh, it's a present to her. Is it? No? Oops. Oh, quest giver Swift. Oops. I have to talk to Swift. Where is this guy? Oh, it was right here. Alright. So we believe you should get yourself a chocobo. Probably excel, yes. A moment of your time, if you please. If you wish to carry out your duty swiftly, do you not? Well then, perhaps you should get yourself a chocobo. If you're interested, the Immortal Flames will furnish you with one. It's not a complex process, but it does require some paperwork. First, speak with the quartermaster to obtain a flame chocobo insurance. You'll need to exchange company seals in order to do so. Once you receive your insurance, show it to Minigun by the Gate of Knowledge. He'll be the one to furnish you with a bird. There you go. On a bird issue, you said? Then I'll need to see your flame chocobo issuance. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your chocobo. And here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. Oof. So to name it. That one shall do. Over this one. Took forever just to name a chocobo. What about naming the giant chicken Popeye? Nah, I didn't consider Popeye. Name it after my dog? Nah. But I did choose a Roman name. I mean a Roman goddess name. So not bad. So it's complete. Yeah, there's he likes his name. Here is your very own chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it and your feather friend will come bounding to your side. I do forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster infested layers. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo Rider license, as I require by law. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. Give me guys a second, I'll be back. It's like 2 minutes. Okay. I'll take care of something real quick. So, go over here. We know far too little of the sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the science once more if we are to... I beg pardon, it is a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Commander Valois has been awaiting the aid of science. Hail, adventurer! I bid you welcome to the Adder's Nest. Do you seek to entwine your destiny with the Twin Adder? Close these windows real quick. Okay, there we go. Good evening, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalimo. Always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the science of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our venturing prowess. Ah, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the 12-wood home. The sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder's soul is of the same mind, and it is precisely for this reason that the sylph's relation to the Primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the Primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry, indeed. Do we strike a Ramu, or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I might find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I will hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you science come in. the sales of a little solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. I will not do to have any cross-culture faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorne Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Apollino. Press the set. Broadsword. That is better than the one that I have right now. Weapons. Dang, what the hell? I like that fact that it covers everything. Shoot. Repair shop. Ah. Continue. Mitanie. I, the fairy dock at the base of this hill, will carry you across the lake to the east shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorn Hut without much trouble. The Hawthorns are most welcoming folk who have shown us no small measure of goodwill. Still, a bit of courtesy goes a long way. I would encourage you to stop by Full Flower Combe and introduce yourself to Rosa before you travel on. Is it Sweetborn Piers? Lavender beds. Okay, so oh, I can change the color? A little bit. It's gotta be an easier way, right? To Mount Guard, okay. I'll figure it out later. Choose Mount Roulette. Yeah, I gotta figure all this stuff out. I'm gonna mash some stuff. Okay. I'll do it right now. Hold R2 and choose a spot. Okay. An adventure. Thank the 12. You couldn't have come at a more opportune time. Please, you must help us. Why, it's our bees. The poor little deers are under attack by murderous swarms of hornets. These beehives are our livelihood. You must save them. Ah, there we go. There we go. Thank you for the help, guys. I can do this now. One more right over here. That's done. The Mount Roulette book I mentioned is under actions and traits in general. Alright, I'm gonna take a note of that. Alright, noted. Thank you, friend. Finally, our bees can make their honey in peace. I knew you were 12 cents at the moment I laid eyes upon you. You traveled to our hut, you say, and would speak with the serpent officer there? There is one who goes by Amelian. He is a sentry at Jocelyn Spire, but makes regular excursions to our hut. He's quite enamored of her honey and the tales of my husband, Rolf, though I've found him to be tight-lipped around those he's unfamiliar with. Oh, I know what we might try. Why don't you take a jar of fresh honey to him? I reckon you'll find him more than talkative then. The little pet of fresh honey to Emmeline. He's here somewhere. Inside this hut, maybe? Yep. Indeed, I am Emelian of the Twin Adder. Your face is unfamiliar too. Have a present for me, you say. A jar of Rosa's honey and freshly harvested to boot? You certainly know how to make a first impression, friend. Ah, so you are the adventurer of whom Commander spoke. Do forgive me for being curt. My stomach was rumbling something fierce. My word, this honey, like liquid gold. Forgive me. You have come to discuss not honey, but sylphs. For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot. Particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? Would you do well to speak to Rosa's husband here, Rolf? He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Patriarch of the beekeeping Hawthorne family, is said to be well versed in sylphic customs. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. Beg pardon, friend, my memory is just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before, you might have more luck with them. Oh, good. The sylphs, yes, Father told me the stories of plenty times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of gill of leaves, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Quickest way to a quivering woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuff on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. Monet. The sylphs Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers. That's what they are. One day they're drawing marble faces on our masks, and next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. Oh, of course, hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. Feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting among their kind. You do well to remember this. It just may help win the favor of our forest friends. Oh great, gotta dance. You share further knowledge to assist you in befriending the sylphs. Oh, still here, eh? Great! There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring Drat, what was it again? And Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than mine. Peace offering for the sylphs. I give you another jar of my honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, the taste run more to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milk root? That's what we call the root of the most fiendish sitkin, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce a curious visions in the imbiber, maybe? I'm gonna say that word. You do not catch me dead trying that stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen a noche around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow with some of the amber syrup, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? milk root, but of course those sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Anyhow, the gift of milk root will have the sylphs calling you friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Let's give up your offering in preparation for your journey to the sylphs' demands. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your milk root well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from that god-awful stench. The sylphs love that stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the marble that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You have more important matters to attend today. Yes, the sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I share their company enough to know they're kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parlay be a fruitful one, friend. And do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you regale me with your adventuring tales. Ah, and afore I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Amelia here will have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. Good to see your knowledge of sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Kumuxio. He has served an intermediary between our people on many an occasion, and has a close ear of his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root that sylphs so adore. I have something far greater import for you to deliver, a missive from the elder Seer herself. To summarize the letter's content in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy. That would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the XIV has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Little Solace. Walking one is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking one should go home and leave this one be. Walking One will bring gift to this one. Walking One is most kind. Walking One brings Milkroot. Milkroot fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many thanks. Walking One carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys from Gridania, and we're here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay respects to your elder, and to learn from him more of your lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These walking ones come from Gridania? Walking One became a dancing one and brought Milkroot, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking One should go home. Go home, you say, but the sylphs of Little Solace have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Reyna here is an oath of peace penned by the elder Sitseer herself. Still, you will refuse us? His own reasons are no business of Walking One's. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking One's waste everyone's time. Well, I never. Turn away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Reyna Jigs insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Paralyzing potion? Something. Richard Alone. Ida has a notion of how one might earn the sylph's trust. Say, Ren, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all the trouble to learn the sylph's traditional greeting, but you greeted hardly any of them. While you're at it, why not dance for the Gridanians around here as well? Why, if I were a sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer sharing my culture with her own kind. Me, of course, I'd be happy to join. Ow, ow! There goes those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Oh, charming! You'll fit here. You'll fit right in here in Little Solace. Be forewarned, though. Such pleasantries will get you nowhere with the sylphs who dwell in the homeland. Walking One has sprightly steps. This one is a minus, tee-hee, but this one is still sleepy. Walking One is a friend to this one, certainly the gracious elder one of the Forest City. Knows how to dance into this one's hearts. That's some fine dancing, friend. Why, if you were half as tall and twice as green, I might have mistaken you for a sylph myself. Any road, the sylphs are a peaceful folk. Approach them with an open mind and heart, and they'll open up to you in turn. Ooh, walking one knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. Wooden Claw, walking one will know more. This does not trust walking ones who do not show respect. Walking one will be a friend to this one. This one is overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. Magnificent! You make an excellent ambassador to Little Solace, friend. Mind you, not all sylphs are so welcoming of outsiders. The Woodland Sprites will gut you before you got your feet off the ground. Ah, this walking one is a dancing one. This one is always happy to see dancing ones. Reina, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solace. The better news, why I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. As a motion endear yourself to the sylphs of Little Solace. When as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You will be better off inquiring with here in Media are the Gridanians who reside here. She is most likely to privy to the sylphs' trouble. Ah, you return. Praise to be the elementals. I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts for moms around are free to wander in and terrorize the helpless residents. You could put down these garlands and gall knots that roam these parts. 5 of each should suffice. The sylphs and I will be eternally grateful. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 5 brownie brushes as well. They play an important role of sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details. And what with such feral beasts prowling in the forest, they are not easily come by. When you're done with the deeds, seek Kumuxio. He is slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. Guess I gotta kill 5 of these things. Oh, it's pretty close. Brownie bushes. Complete. Oh, still need to get one more brownie brushes. Oops. brownie brush. Nimbus. Dancing one's still here. Dancing one can dance all day. This one trust is not so easily earned. Dancing one brings brownie brushes with this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing one kills bitey bussy ones. This one hates bitey bussy ones. Dancing one is kind, too kind. Many walking ones come to this one's abode. But few are friendly like Dancing one. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust Dancing one after all. Couldn't trust you with a task. This one asks Dancing one for forgiveness. This one had many troubles since Walking ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing one is not like other Walking ones. This one can trust Dancing one. This one would ask Dancing one for help. Strange Walking one with bodies of steel come to home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones come from Empire. Where Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall, brushes burn. This one's home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing one to help this one no more. Dancing one is friends with these ones and Walking ones, yes? Dancing one must speak to these ones here and Walking ones in hut house and find out more. This one has bad feelings. This one fears steel ones are after something, but this one should speak no more. Go Dancing one. This one depends on the kindness of Dancing one. It's too many ones. Strange steel Walking ones? Yes, this one has seen. Steel Walking ones carrying big boxes. Maybe Walking one hunt for shiny treasure? This one likes treasure. What in the hell, Bobby? What was that? Shush, shush, this one says. Still Walking ones are scary, like touch ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Fearsome types clad head to toe and still and you say, Imperial soldiers, no doubt. I couldn't tell you what they're planning, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Men clad in strange armor. Well, now that you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. This one's happy to see Dancing One return. What did Dancing One learn? This one sees still walking ones come from Empire, carry boxes and go walking deep through trees. As this one thought, still walking ones are up to nasty no good things. This one knows forest well, still walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one will borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes mark right here. This is where still ones hide. This one knows. Dancing One will go looking for still ones, yes? Like this Dancing One has no other choice. This Dancing One will get the chocobo out and go to the marked place where they want me to go. Stunned? Dancing One is back. This one breathes signs of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something. Dancing One found paper inside a box. This is a message from Empire. This one can read Walking One symbols. Message paper has the name of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes. This one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from home of this one's. How do still walking ones know to find them? Is there a sneaky one hiding behind this one's wings? Snooping ones selling secrets to still walking ones? This one fears for this one's home. But Dancing One has helped this one much today. Dancing One must promise to always be friends to this ones. And this one has to call it a night already. Oh man, these little things are hilarious. Working, Space Oyster, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully tomorrow, if there's nothing else, if there's nothing that pops up tomorrow, I'll probably be streaming around 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But thank you guys for being here. I'm pretty sure you guys probably in a raid or something right now, or some dungeon. You guys have a good night. See you guys later.